The last topic of the show is going to be discussing the Dallas Mavericks because I think they are one of the teams that had a disappointing offseason. I think the Blazers are up there. Definitely up there as well.
Dame needs to go.
But Dallas, these were their moves. They re-signed Tim Hardaway Jr. to a 4-year, $72 million deal. They signed Sterling Brown to a 2-year deal, Boban Marjanovic to a 1-year deal. So basically, whatever players.
You got your boy, right?
Reggie Bullock to a 3-year, $30 million deal.
Good riddance.
I mean, he's a good player, but, man, I think this was a disappointing offseason. I thought they could have gotten Lowry or even DeRozan or some set.
Is
Kawhi.
it though? If Lowry didn't pick them, is it really disappointing?
I think Lowry would have been a huge addition.
But I'm saying he picked Miami though.
I mean, Dallas, for years, Dallas is always trying to get top free agents, and this is another year where they haven't gotten it. The best guy is Reggie Bullock.
Is it safe to say that Luka isn't a big enough attraction for Dallas?
Ooh, disagree.
I heavily disagree.
Like one of the biggest disagreements I've ever had with you.
No, I didn't say it was. I didn't say I agree. I'm just asking.
Way to backtrack.
No, I didn't say it because Kyle Lowry had a chance to pick Luka and he chose Jimmy Butler.
Because I think he realized Luka is the primary ball handler regardless.
Or because of Miami's culture, and he wants to be in Miami over Dallas.
I was going to say, Miami, I'm going there 10 out of 10 times over
They
Dallas.
don't pay taxes.
In Dallas,
they don't.
You're right.
Texas, they don't pay much tax either.
I didn't know that.
No, they don't.
I mean,
much tax
for
because
me,
Florida doesn't pay tax at all.
I don't know. I think Florida might be less. For me, I think this is really disappointing. I mean, Luka, and yet again, another year is going to have to carry the Mavericks. Last year, he averaged 28, 8, and 9. Kind of like how he's carrying Slovenia. I think they should be France. Came down to a 1-point game.
Did he get hurt, though, Luka?
He hurt his
injury,
wrist.
Yeah.
I don't know if Dallas didn't make much moves because they're still hoping that KP is going to work in Dallas and they're going to give it one more year. But I don't know. I think last year kind of felt like this is the end of it. Just try to trade Porzingis because their play styles don't fit. KP and Luka are not friends off the court. I just thought it was time to move on from KP, but obviously they want to run it back. And now with Reggie Bullock, I mean, Luka, Porzingis, Bullock.
It's hilarious how a team that got bounced in the first round twice wants to run it back.
Finney Smith.
They had tough competition
Tim
both
Hardaway
times,
Jr.
though.
It's, obviously the goal for them was to get another ball handler, somebody who can relieve the pressure off of Luka. And they ended up getting a guy who's going to stand around and wait for him to pass him the ball to shoot, and Reggie Bullock. Granted, he can defend, but bringing Tim Hardaway Jr. back that's
enormous.
what they needed to do that for sure. But I think like a Kyle Lowry, a DeRozan, bringing somebody else who can put the ball in the basket and somebody who relieves the pressure of Luka would have been huge for them. Like you said, it feels like the end for them in Porzingis. I think Luka and Kristaps we thought it would work. We thought it looked great. The idea of a stretch four and, Luka, unicorns, both overseas. We thought it'd be magical. It's not it. They need to give it up. It's dead. There'll be a playoff team. Luka's gonna do
Luka.
Luka's gonna do what Luka does. It just sucks that in the first couple years of his playoff career, he's gonna get bounced out in the first round. I mean, who knows? He might play like Denver and maybe can sneak a win out, or play Portland or something, or even the Warriors and maybe just dug out a win. But he needs to get some help, and it goes. He locked in. He's locked in with them for a long time, so they got some time. But Dallas, we're accustomed to them getting talent and being in the playoffs consistently, but they just haven't been able to do that. New coach, new vibe. Maybe Jason Kidd can change the environment for him and Porzingis. I don't see it, but maybe he can. But at this moment in time, this just looks like another failed. Well, not a failed year because they made the playoffs, but another year in
Failed
mediocrity.
offseason.
Yeah, another year in mediocrity for me.
So, not as down on the Mavericks offseason as you guys. Of course, it's disappointing they made no moves. It's obvious. They really didn't do much other than bring back Tim Hardaway. But I think I would rather wait an extra year. You sign Luka to this extension. You have him locked for another 4 years. You know that this is the cornerstone of your team. You don't want to go spending money needlessly elsewhere in spots where, you could get a guy like DeRozan who's a little bit older. Or you could wait till next season when you can get a guy like Bradley Beal who's an unrestricted free agent. Or you can go and get a guy like Zach LaVine who's potentially a free agent. Who knows if the Bulls don't have a successful season. I'm sorry, bro. No disrespect. Who knows? It's possible they don't have.
If you don't and he leaves, that'll be hilarious.
That'd hurt.
That would be pretty rough. But
That'd hurt. I'm gone.
these are two guys that I want over every single free agent that was available. Obviously, other than Kawhi, but who knows what Kawhi's going to do right now? Like there's no news of. There's been a report saying that he's going to decline the option, but go back to the Clippers on a 1-year deal. Exactly. I think that this was a longevity thing. You already have Luka. That's fine. You get to see if Porzingis works out or not one more season. If it doesn't work out, you trade him. Only relieves more cap for you guys. You guys, of course, being the Mavericks. You can go and you bring in a similar type player and Chris Boucher way cheaper, and you still go get a Bradley Beal who's going to complement Luka perfectly because he just needs another guy to go get a bucket. You can go get a guy like Zach LaVine who wants to play off the ball and have a guy who's going to pass him the ball and get his own, of course, too. I'm not too down on it. I understand what's going to happen here. They had really good series against the Mavericks. Against the Clippers 2 seasons in a row. That first year in the bubble, Porzingis and Luka looked really, really effective against that Clippers team until Porzingis got hurt and things just didn't work out for them. But that next year, Porzingis definitely looked a little bit lost. They need to find that again this season. And if it doesn't work out, you trade Porzingis, you get something in return for him, and you go all out to go get a guy like Beal or potentially LaVine.
Yeah,
Isn't Kyrie, Harden, and KD decline?
I didn't want to throw them in there because I figured they're going to stay with the Nets. But yeah, it's John Wall, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Kemba Walker, Kyrie Irving. Oladipo just signed, but was it a 1-year deal?
I think so.
Randall just signed. Aaron Gordon, LaVine, obviously. Rozier would be interesting.
The worst thing that can happen is that the Mavericks waste Luka's years on this after this extension.
Definitely. That's the worst.
And then he's a free agent, and the Knicks sign him. And now the Knicks get Luka Doncic. That's the worst thing that can happen. Now, honestly, that's the best thing that can happen to me. So hopefully it does happen.
Dude thinks he'll go to New York.
Then you wake up
he actually
and
wanted to go to New York
dreaming.
pre-draft.
Well, that was 3 years ago.
So did
No,
Zion.
Luka, yeah, he's still. Oh man, we're gonna get Zion and Luka.
And Kawhi.
2025, we're getting
Kevin Durant. Remember KD, Kyrie?
No. Don't forget the Photoshop. Kyrie, KD,
number 1 pick,
Zion, and after everyone, X.
It's really funny.
X.
You guys are hilarious. You
know what's the thing though? Luka Doncic actually made a video pre-draft, and he kind of foreshadowed his career. He said, in my first year, I'm going to win Rookie of the Year. In my second year, I'm going to be an All-NBA player. And in the third year, I'm going to be...
Dude, it's mad nice.
He was like, I'm going to be the king of New York. He's like, he said he's going to be the king of New York, and he basically hinted at him wanting to be a Knick.
Mm-hmm. He was a kid when he did that. Now he's kind of a grown man. Get over that.
I think he still acts very childish.
On the court,
Not in a bad way. I think he just has a lot of fun. So I think he still has that same mindset. He would love to play in New York.
I think
you don't think Dirk has some kind of influence?
I think Luka is his own man. I think Luka is a guy that, for me, when I look at Luka, I think he cares much more about the international scene than he does about the NBA scene.
I see that.
For example, they asked him, what's more important to you, winning a gold medal or winning an NBA championship? If the media asks any NBA player that question that plays for the USA, they're going to say a championship because winning a gold medal for the USA is
walk
easy.
in the park.
For Luka, it's I want to win a gold medal. I think he views the NBA as
child's play,
kind of that way, but also he wants to be free to do whatever he wants. And if he wants to go to New York, he wants to go to New York. I don't think he strikes me as that guy as I have to stick with one team my entire career. I think he strikes me as a guy as I just want to win. And if I can't win, I'm leaving.
Plus, it's different times. Dirk was 20 years ago. They was raised different. It was just different. Guys
they had Steve Nash, too.
Yeah, guys was just different. You know what I'm saying? So
they had J. Kidd. They had Steve Nash.
He played with Michael Finley, too.
But Giannis also did just sign an extension with Milwaukee to stay there, and we saw it pay off for him. So I'm not saying that the Mavericks have done a great job in trying to motivate him to want to stay. But I think that this is a long-term plan that the Mavericks have.
That's true. But the difference between Giannis and Luka is that I think Giannis getting drafted by Milwaukee,
he had to work for everything.
He felt grateful. Mm-hmm. He felt like you guys found me. You drafted me. You brought my family over to the country. I'm grateful. Luka's like, I'm the guy. I'm the guy.
But he wasn't the number 1 pick.
He was the guy, though.
He was the guy. He wasn't number 1 pick. He wasn't the number 1 pick, but
Or number
he was
2.
true. But he was the best European player we've seen come out ever. Like, he knew he was that guy. He was the MVP in the Euro League. He won a championship there.
You're saying he's better than Dirk already? Easy?
Oh yeah, first couple seasons in the league, he's better than Dirk.
Okay.
But I'm just talking about it as a prospect coming out of like Europe.
Mhm.
Luka's the best of all time
Okay.
coming out of Europe.
Okay.
Like Dirk coming out of Europe, yeah, he was exceptional. He was great. But Luka, he won a championship at 18, I
18,
believe,
yep.
and MVP.
Yep.
Like nobody's done that. Even the players who have gotten drafted high from Europe haven't done it. Like Ricky Rubio, you look at what he accomplished. He wasn't even a starter.
It wasn't a quarter of what Luka was.
Not at all. Like Luka was just different. So I think Luka kind of has that mindset where he thinks he knows he's the guy, and he doesn't really have any sense of loyalty outside of his country.